I wash my soul in the ocean, in the tears of God, I let it go.
Hello, my Astro family. This is your August 2020 horoscope, and things are getting interesting again. The war of the planets is beginning. The big players, Saturn, Mars, Jupiter, and Pluto, will hold a difficult square aspect in the sky for almost 2 months, starting from the middle of August. Things will heat up around the world. I expect riots, I expect rebellions, I expect clashes between governments and people, and things might get quite violent. But on the personal level, we're gonna look now how it's going to affect you in the personal level, and I'll give you suggestions and remedies. So don't worry. Personally, everyone usually has higher vibration than collectively, so we can do much better with those challenging aspects. Plus, there is a huge cosmic release of karma in certain area of your life where things are completing and ending. We'll talk about that. The galactic center aligns with the planet of karma, huge things. But before I start, I just wanted to let you know that my first book, my first electronic book, is out. It's about the planetary aspects in the natal horoscopes interpretation. Say if you're born when Jupiter was conjunct the Sun or square Venus or whatever, all those explanations are there. I wrote it with my teacher over. It took us 1 year, so it's now discounted for the first 2 weeks. Whoever orders it, it's very affordable price, so I'm excited. My first ever book. And also we're doing a webinar on August the 13th with Krasi, how to interpret your Babylonian horoscope, how to interpret your natal horoscope according to the ancient method. It's going to be 5-6 hours, very practical. We'll work with personal charts of the people there. We will give we'll read personal lives and examples, so it's gonna be very hands-on. So now let's begin with August 20. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising, August 2020. Let's start with more difficult information. Saturn, the planet that rules you, one of the planets that rules you, is going to receive square from Mars from the middle of August till the start of October. So almost for 2 months, you might be feeling, us collectively as Aquarius, more frustrated because Mars is irritation, more feisty, more ready to fight, more trigger happy, more easily reactive. But because Saturn tries to regulate, usually it's like, keep a public face, don't disturb the collective. And but there'll be explosions. And especially start finding yourself becoming more feisty about speaking up and about saying what you think, because Mars will be in your third house, and you might find yourself that you're starting to fight with others about belief systems or about spirituality or about secrets and hidden things. Because Mars in the third house, you want to speak, you want to say the things, you want to spread messages, keep forge forward and talk about the things you want to talk and be heard. But there is resistance here from Saturn square. You might feel like there is consequences. There might be consequences for speaking up as well. It might create for you hidden enemies. The 12th house is the house of hidden enemies. So you speaking up your mind creates hidden enemies that can be doing something behind your back. But don't forget that we are Saturn, so we might be also much more focused in that 12th house. So while you're trying to work on your 12th house, is like do some important internal work of releasing, of letting go, of completing something. 12 houses to complete, to prepare to work something behind the scenes, and you're being frustrated because of constant chatter and bickering in society around you. People fighting, maybe, you're trying to go within this 12th house. You're trying to do your own things undisturbed. Leave me alone. I have things separate, alone, isolated to do here, to sort out my psychology, to sort out my mind, but at the same, to sort out my psychic, because 12th house is the old karma that we're completing. And it's kind of a bit of a psychodrama in our heads as Aquarius currently. But Mars is saying, no, you have a lot of daily responsibilities here. Third house is your everyday life, duties, errands. And Mars says you have to run around like crazy and do them. And this can disturb your process of hibernation or process of internalization and going deep within and understanding things. So there can be some inner worries, tensions, stresses, and your internal mind is quite hectic with Mars transiting in the third house, and trigger happy to fight as well, as we said. Uh, but also Mars in the third house wants to introduce not only for you to get a lot of things done, and you're gonna be quite busy. Fortunately or unfortunately, even when you want to retreat and be left alone to contemplate the universe, to prepare for the future, Mars says no. You're gonna get so busy from the end of August until almost like November, that your mind will keep you distracted, safe, with a lot of communications, meeting, correspondence, information, business work, third house rules, all of those. Um, uh, Having to use your mind constantly, having to use communication, media, marketing, correspondence, uh, skills, and or just working in a small group environment with others, and so you have to do both things. You have to find time to put to this 12th house of retreat, contemplation, working on addictions, on psychological blockages from the past, on just having some time alone to relax and meditate as well, wanting to escape, and working on releasing the past, and at the same time you're forging forward with so many daily hectic activities. Your mind is so busy with errands, with duties, with business, some projects that you'll be doing. And how else can it play? But your sleep might be disturbed as well a little bit, because those planets in the 12th house is your sleep, your peace of mind, and Mars is activating it. Because of all those things you have to do, you might feel not enough time to sleep, stressing a bit more. But also Mars wants to break through with new ideas. Mars in the third house, new skills, new ideas, new opinions, and it wants to break through your old kind of subconscious patterns that Saturn here in the 12th house indicates. So some new people can enter your life. Mars in the third house, new communication, new information, new knowledge or skills and tools which you want to try and apply, because they can directly challenge the old subconscious self-sabotaging patterns of the subconscious, of the 12th house, of the past lifetimes, of the past. So Mars actually is enemy of Saturn, so it can break through those new ideas, this new information that you come across to, these new ways of doing things in your daily activities and routines. You're almost like rewiring your brain. You're changing your thinking with new ideas. You're changing your internal self narrative, the third house, which you constantly talk consciously in your mind. It's like you're having a much bolder, much more enthusiastic, much more soldier like pep talk to your mind. So you can almost like train your mind, and through this training that's happening with Mars in the third house, to think differently, with repetitions, with constant self repeating yourself, kind of this getting excited about these new ideas, and saying yourself that how you think differently, even if you don't feel it yet, even if you don't think it. And this will break through this 12th house crust of Saturn there, where of your subconscious, because what is the biggest self-sabotaging behavior? It's our subconscious. And the only way you can change your subconscious if you first start changing your conscious self-narrative, so it breaks through to the subconscious. And this is what Mars in the third house is going to be doing for us. So I think it can have a good effect as well. All those things that we did, all those addictions or fears we thought we can never beat, some kind of a loop that we're stuck in, which is Saturn in the 12th house, that we've been stuck in for years and years, that we can't imagine that we can ever be different, or things would ever be different. Well, Mars can come and batter it now by changing your thinking, by reading the right books, by someone allowing right people to even snap you out with an intervention, or even some hurtful and straight words into your face that snap you out and kind of start rewiring, or you personally training your mind like a soldier. Mars is the soldier, to rewire your thinking that will change your subconscious. It's a deep one. Let's see on the material level what can happen more. Okay, so Saturn gets in the 12th house. 12th house can be can indicate moving to foreign countries, so papers and documents to live abroad. So there can be some stresses there to sort out those documents, hoops, for interviews and stuff, because of Mars in the third house squaring. Um, Another way it can play out is that Mars in your third house, we talk that it can mean fighting with others and so on, with relatives, with neighbors, with siblings, with teammates, while Mars is being squared by Saturn and Jupiter. And you might feel like pushing them. Come on, get things done. Come on, I need this. Uh, but at the same time there is some delays, maybe for circumstances outside of your control. Saturn in the 12th house, you can't control it, it's beyond you. It might be connected to the government, it might be connected to spiritual forces, you don't know. But some project that you're working on and you really want to move ahead, the third house is like business work, mental work, editing, writing, speaking, projects, uh, rolling out projects and whatever, commercial business activities, business meetings, negotiations, marketing, advertising, and you're doing something like that with Mars there in the third house. It's keeping you busy. You're learning skills or whatever as well. You're busy with talking, with speaking, with clients, but something is delaying those things. This is where a lot of mental frustration can happen, because Saturn will square this third house with Mars there. So, because of delays, you can feel frustrated at such people, with relatives, neighbors, co-workers, teammates, playmates, at how things are moving in a almost like constipated fashion for a couple of months, 3 months. Or it can require that you put so much work. Maybe you have some deadlines. That's why you're stressing. Some deadlines and you're working with others. Third house will most definitely Mars transiting there means you're not going to be doing this all alone. You'll be working with a small group of others. And again, things get, frustrated, delayed in some sort. Okay, what else can it mean? Third house is trips, travels, cars. So now you have to be a bit more careful from the middle of August. If you have any important trips, do them till the middle of August, because after that, from the third week of August, this planet gets in the third house. It's more likely to have accidents or to have frustrations if you go traveling somewhere. Or if you go on a plane, the plane might be like, I don't know, they might lock you in there for 10 hours without taking off. I cannot tell you specifically what, but some frustrations when it comes to traveling, to trips, can happen after that. Or even with your car, the third house rules your car, and you can have frustration starting from the second, third month of August connected to your car, to going to and from places. We said relatives, neighbors, teammates, workmates, okay. And third house is also vehicles, laptops, computers, communication devices, your websites, if you have websites. They can be frustrations about that. They can be like breaking, tearing, losing, someone stealing. So be okay. Make sure you save your information by the end of August. Important files that you have, important passwords and stuff, save them, have them on two places, so you can minimize the frustrating influence of Mars being squared by the planets in the third house. And I hope your siblings, relatives will be fine. I hope nothing, because sometimes it can mean that something stressful happens in their life that affects you in some way. The third house is also, website. So you might be working something very hard connected to a website, and you have to weather through legal hoops, Saturn, or through restructuring and through things moving slowly and some complications. But the final results can be great because both planets are in their own dignity. So they give tremendous willpower, like Iron Man willpower, which the final results can be, you know, you have a breakthrough mentally, you have like a completed business project or work project of some sort. Usually you'll see the results and you start seeing the easing off from October, the middle of October. But the hard work that you have to do, and there'll be a lot of hard work with talking, with media, with writing, with speaking, with documents, that is keeping your mind busy all the time, that is stressing you a little bit, that has to be done and redone a few times. The planets are retrograde, don't forget. Saturn and Mars as well from September. So you have to have patience with such activities, and the final results can be great, again, as I said. Towards the autumn, you know, the middle of the autumn. And there is a new moon in your seventh house. Now let's see specifically just for this month. The new moon is in Leo, it's with Mercury. It can indicate it's on the 18th. So a week before and 2 weeks after that, for some of you, it can indicate the start of a new relationship, especially with someone Mercury, like more youthful, more witty, younger, or just very skilled person, communicative. Or for some of you, it can indicate that there is some new beginning of in your partner's life. Like they initiate something, they receive some good news, Mercury, or they receive some piece of information, or they read something, or some important conversations that trigger a new chapter in their life. Or there can be a renewal of your relationship of some sort as well from the second part of August, basically. And you have a lot of focus on your partner, and I think it's good to collaborate with others, and you can start some new collaborations with others and partnerships towards the end of September. That can be quite successful. I'm not sure if the results you'll see immediately, but some interesting new people will appear into your life that can bring new opportunities for you. And some important information and business opportunity, because Mercury is involved. Contract agreements are possible to come from the end of the month for some of you, the start of September or after the 18th. You know, all right. So that's another way, and you can just be around more people. You can see that it's socially more active, especially Mars is in your third house, very socially active. Of course, it pushes you to be more frustrated at people and maybe to fight more. But this month, Aquarius, for you, I think there is a lot of focus on social connections, on talking with others, communicating, building bridges, meeting people, meeting new people, collaborating with people, exchanging ideas with them as well. So you're not doing things alone. Actually, if you try to do them alone, it's not going to work. It's kind of combine your forces with others. And Venus is in your sixth house for a big part in August. Actually, you're escaping all this madness by enjoying your work, or by starting to enjoy some, you know, juicing or some healthy habits or some exercise routine. And maybe enjoying kind of thinking, talking about, like doing such things. All right, so let's see. Thank you so much. Interesting, and I will see you for September with the continuation. You can watch this video. It's as valid for September as it's for August, because especially the first part, when I talk about the Saturn-Mars square between the 12th and the 3rd houses, you can refer to it for the next 3 months, basically. Thank you, Aquarius.